heads of agencies. It would have helped us a lot to really channel these accusations in such a way that officials will be able to assess and look into it. Bearing in mind that he is the governor. If at the end of the day, the charges against the GOC proves to be false, is there any way that he can be made to face the music for his false allegation? It's not possible. So we are living in glass houses here. I am more concerned with the security of the state. There ought to be this feud between government house and the 6th Division headquarters. We should find a way to end this feud so that both the governor and the GOC can sit down like this, along with the other service commanders, and plan for the safety of this state. Anybody telling us that this state is safe is the one demarketing this state. We need the GOC and its men to really calm down and see what is happening every now and then. Beheadings here and there, and you say the state is safe. So we need the governor, we need the GOC, we need the service commander to sit down, bury all these hatches, and work together to make Rivers State the viable state it ought to be. That's my own take on this matter. The security of the people should be paramount, not the misdemeanor of a particular officer or government official. Let's put this behind us and go straight and do something for the people.
All right, let's move on now to the Punch newspaper real quickly. Punch newspaper also has Buhari's inauguration. PDP others knock president for keeping mum. Obasanjo, Jonathan absent. That's one point of the we didn't get to talk about that, but we will talk about that later. Anyways, let's hold on to that. We'll get back there. Then also in the Punch newspaper, Kaduna refinery stays idle for 12 months. Others wobble. I think it was in 2019 that Ibeka will stop importing. All right.
No, it is till December.
That's I'm just saying.
2019 is running.
I know, December. But then this is what? This is June.
This is June, more or less.
All right then. Kaduna refinery stays idle for 12 months. Others wobble. That's you find in the Punch. Aisha Buhari, the activist within. You also get that story in the Punch newspaper. Aisha Buhari, the activist within. Hold your leaders accountable, Saraki tells Nigerians. Hold your leaders accountable, Saraki tells Nigerians. Don't victimize Ambode, PDP wants Sanwo-Olu. Don't victimize Ambode, PDP wants Sanwo-Olu. NYSC to include date of birth on certificates. NYSC to include date of birth on certificates. And then Makinde says, Oyo can't pay 30,000 naira minimum wage, scraps tuition. Makinde says, Oyo can't pay 30,000 naira minimum wage, scraps tuition. And then you have court orders prompt hearing of Okorocha's certificate of return suit. Court orders prompt hearing of Okorocha's certificate of return suit. Those stories all in the Punch. Let's start with the very first. Kaduna refinery stays idle for 12 months. Others wobble. And part of that story here reads that report for January 2019 also showed that of the country's 3 refineries managed by the corporation, only the Warri Refining and Petrochemical Company was able to process some volume of crude oil from January 2018 to January this year. Our correspondent observed that between January 2018 and January 2019, the WRPC only recorded 0 capacity utilization in January, September, and October in 2018. In January this year, the Warri Refinery processed 104,459 MTs of crude and posted a capacity utilization of 19%. The combined capacity utilization of the refineries in January this year is put at 5.5%. Mando, please your thoughts.
Well, I think the wobbly description of the other ones, that's Warri and Port Harcourt, maybe showcase a little activity to a certain level. But this other one of Kaduna is just idle by the time specified. Well, it's poor management by our authorities. Because I believe
And
that
this administration had promised 90%
yeah,
utilization of the refineries.
now we
At
can
least 90%.
yes, we can use our tongue and count
Now we
it
have what
along
we
that.
have 5.5%.
Yes. So the truth is that if government will be determined to fix the refineries,
What does it take to be determined
we have no
now?
business importing fuel and others.
You know, there's so many things we say in Nigeria here that I'm worried. I don't know, because we keep saying if you're determined, and then I'm wondering the leaders and the people who need to be determined, why are they there if they're not determined?
You see, Anne, it's a very difficult thing to push out people that are in authority. It's very difficult. Even though it happens, it will start. And you know, in Nigeria, we never start. In Nigeria. And that's why I always say, you know what they call catapult. You draw it in Nigeria, the catapult ends. Nigeria's own doesn't end. The elasticity. And that is why, when we are talking about it happens in Algeria, it happens in Sudan and all that. Not Nigeria. Nigeria is no longer ready. You see, somebody will raise an issue. And once he's picked by the authorities, next time he comes back, in fact, outside is his room with his people. And he won't talk again. That is the problem. Tell me exactly the business we have in importing all these products from outside, a country that is so endowed. Now, you have, like you rightly mentioned, the Kachuku's promise. Well, it could happen on December 31st. It's still 2019. Let's keep on waiting. But all I know is that let Kaduna Refinery endure. Let Warri Refinery endure. Let Port Harcourt endure. It is the poor management of our authorities.
5 first in a minute.
I think the system is a shame. It's a big shame that we are having crude oil exporting, but we cannot refine even what we can use within the system. It is a shame. And because of all these lapses in the refineries operating at 5, what is 5%? In fact, it's a shame. And that is why illegal refineries is thriving in parts of the Delta, because they are trying to fill this gap. Look at the gap they have to fill, 95% of gap, that is what they have to fill, to produce and refine what will be used domestically. That means if the refineries are failing to produce at least 90%, it means that they are telling the illegal refineries to expand, to produce more of these things. Take, for instance, like they keep claiming when we have meetings, open meetings with them, that if they stop production to the Nigerian energy crisis, will be very serious. So I think they need to do something for these refineries to work to full capacity, more refineries to be established, licenses given to people from other refineries, and then we begin to be able to produce what we can eat. In fact, what we can use in this country.
Production.
Just something like that.
All right. Let's get to Elijah Nasser or whatever.
Yes, I think this oil issue is one of the sore points against this administration. I can't imagine a situation where, with the president at the helm of affairs, this issue of refineries could not be fixed within these past 4 years. I don't want to talk about previous years. The reason being that 4 years is more than enough to fix everything you want to fix about these refineries. How long did it take to build the refineries? None of them went beyond 2 years. If you can build these refineries in 2 years, is it turning them around? The structures are there, turning them around, making them productive, that is the problem. They haven't told us the real reason why these refineries are under producing. No reason. I have not had any cogent reason. I don't want to listen to Ibe Kachuku on this matter again, because it's like it's a joke. You keep on giving us deadlines by so time. This. It doesn't happen that way. Let us get to know what is the problem. I think both the civil society, the masses of the people, civil society, all we should descend, because if we don't get it right with these refineries, the amount of money used on this so-called subsidy is so huge that it can make a whole lot of difference. If it takes shutting down the refineries, asking everybody to go, look for the pay of everybody, then you can ask private investors to take a look and do something. But I think the reason is that when you control the price, you are discouraging private investors to come, because they can't spend 95 naira to produce and then you say they should sell at 75. It doesn't work that way. You still come to subsidy.
Their entire hope is Dangote should finish his refinery.
Even if Dangote finishes, in fact, if Dangote will not sell his fuel.
If there's a benchmark, Dangote will have to sell at that. Except if he's taking it out of Nigeria. The point
he will sell at the benchmark.
The point here is, even if Dangote is doing what he's doing, these refineries exist already.
Yes.
Before his
and he's almost near completion of his. So what stopped government from doing the needful here? There have been several talks on modular refineries. So what stopped them from initiating concrete steps on that? And that we can, like Fineface said, let us even begin to produce what we are consuming locally.
You know what is it? Why I'm even more? It is the same president himself, when he was head of state, that initiated these the refineries.
Maybe he lost steam along the way.
You know, so and with Professor Tan David West at the Hemafra, they were able to build these things. I don't know why it is so difficult now. It's unacceptable.
Maybe last time they had gusto. Then it's gone now.
While my friend Fineface was talking about open meetings with these artisanal refiners, do you people always tell them? Because sometimes, you know, in filling stations you don't get kerosene again.
You don't.
But from them you can. Yeah. Some of them you put, whether you are using stove or whatever. Just make sure your face is away from you as you light that particular stove or any gadget.
Why?
Because some of them, as soon as you bend like this, which is the normal thing ordinarily, scratch a match is all over.
We know
on your face.
We know that a lot of those things have been happening, and nobody supports what they are doing. But that industry is thriving because government is failing. Let the government sit up, and then we begin to move forward.
If they are cashing in on the failure of government, let them also try to diffuse it so that it will not be. Are they creating problem? Instead of solving,
the federal government should come and give them modular refineries, train them to do the right thing. We don't support what they are doing.
We keep campaigning, especially the environmental impact
the
face of that girl was completely off.
You know, my problem now is, why should we pay those working in the refineries from the MD down to the
when the refineries
are not working?
Because they're importing.
They didn't put themselves there.
Where are they even getting the money from to service the workforce?
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Because I mean, if you start with the refineries, it's crazy. Moving on from there, Aisha Buhari, the activist within, it's an editorial here in The Punch. It says, last week in Abuja, wife of President Muhammadu Buhari again hit at her husband's worn-out first term, given that the attack, which was on the perceived ineffectiveness of the social investment program, the postal welfare program of the administration, came on the eve of the end of its first term. There is a chance it might be a deliberate valedictory missile aimed at achieving the specific purpose of instructing the president as he goes into another full term. True, there is a mere conjecture, but it is one that cannot be said to be without foundation. Mrs. Buhari has become a serial critic of aspects of her husband's governance, and even though she has shown a proclivity to speak on behalf of Nigerians at the lowest rung of the economic ladder, Aisha has, every time she fires these salvos, targeted specific functionaries of government whom she portrays as either having been inappropriately appointed or failing at the important office they have been benefited with. Take her first outburst about 20 months into her husband's government in October 2016, when she had told the BBC the president doesn't know 45 out of 50 of the people he appointed. I don't know them either, despite being the wife for 27 years. She will repeat this sentiment a couple of times in the 4-year administration of her husband, even narrowing down at some point on some unnamed 2 people who she alleged have formed a ring of incompetence around her husband. Each time she does this, you come away with 2 not necessarily mutually exclusive perception of the woman. You see a woman whose angst is about the exclusion of some people she would rather have in government, a sentiment that suggests that her interest may be primarily based on the failure of appropriate patronage rather than a campaign for merit. But even then, this is likely self-serving motive is almost always wrapped in the garb of concern for the welfare of Nigerians. All of these past 4 years, Aisha had been lucky not to get any response from government appointees until this last intervention, when she seemed to have stepped on the wrong foot.
You know why? Because woman to woman.
Yes. Immediately I saw it, I said, I knew that Uwais was going to give a retort. And
Yes.
Uwais came and said, of course you wouldn't know about this because you didn't ask. And that if you had the information available, you won't be saying what you said. And Uwais went to, give a breakdown of the things they were actually doing in Adamawa State, particularly, and how many people were benefiting from the social intervention program as Adamawa State particularly was concerned. But that's on the other side. What this writer here is trying to say is that the people look at these things from two mutually exclusive perception, and I agree. Some people will see Aisha as, the
Fighting for
activist
the
within.
masses.
Yes, the activist within. And some will actually see that, well, she's doing this because somehow she feels like she's been sidelined. We mentioned that earlier. Because she said they didn't give her, they didn't give her mosquito nets and stuff. She said, I never had any to give my people. Then the question was like, well, you're the first lady. What business do you have distributing mosquito nets anyways? And then she says, nobody told me who's benefit. And we said, well, your office is not directly involved in this. Maybe the reasons why nobody's telling anything. So there is that room for people to think maybe she's doing this because she feels she's not benefiting what she thinks she ought to be benefiting, or she's actually raising this alarm because, well, Nigerian people need better.
Well, no single individual is a repository of wisdom except God. And then so when you are acting, know that others, perhaps when you had gone far, will put all your actions on the table and then sift them to see exactly the chaff and, of course, the wheat. Now, she's been doing this from the first accusation is along the line of what this writer is saying about patronage, because that's the way I viewed it that time. Now, I also believe that a wife, I think I have a wife, for goodness sake. My wife will not just come up and then not, of course, I can't say she doesn't discuss with the husband before coming to the public. But I'm thinking the benefit of coming straight to the public, not keeping quiet. And perhaps when you are interviewed, you make some statements that will be wrapped up in generalities. But when you keep on hitting like this, it will look at the people that say, maybe the first lady office that is dormant somewhat in this administration is what she's not comfortable with. But I believe that it is also good to speak out the way she's doing.
All right, then. Fine Face.
I think the woman had really been trying in speaking out on a lot of issues, and I think I commend her for that. But being an activist within, which is what I am also doing, I think we need to look beyond what she has been speaking. Let us place side by side. What are the things she has been talking about? What changes has been made or achieved in society as a result of her activism within the governmental circle? We need to place those now, begin to analyze to see how she has really been using those statements to achieve certain things. If we look at the advocacy on her husband not knowing 45% of the people that are appointed. Now, are we going to see more people known by herself and her husband appointed in the second tenure? Now, she also talked about the fact that she will not support her husband for second tenure if things are going the way things are going now. Did anything change that made her to support the husband for second tenure? We need to look at all these things and then see whether we can continue to take her seriously when she comments or not.
And Haji Nasser Oliver?
To me, the bottom line is that wife is wife, husband is husband. You are first lady by virtue of the fact that your husband is the first. Should I say husband?
President. I don't know why they avoid first man.
No.
He's the president, yes.
He's the president. Therefore, I would have felt more comfortable if she had been able to articulate these grievances, and if they are targeted towards the general good. I think she should explore internal options that will be able to address these issues. By the time you start coming to the public every now and then, you are kind of putting a wedge between your husband and
the people
and the
he's
people,
governing.
and this is not good enough.
Right.
So she may have good reasons, but I plead that she should take a second look and be able to target her internal sources.
Let me just quickly do a run through some of the other stories that we'll be able to discuss. Don't victimize Ambode. PDP won Sanwo-Olu. The People's Democratic Party in Lagos has won Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu against victimizing his predecessor, Akiwumi Ambode. The PDP in a statement by his publicity secretary, Taufik Gani, said that Sanwo-Olu should rather focus on surpassing the achievements of Ambode. The statement read in part, the Lagos State chapter of the PDP has cancelled the new Lagos State governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, to adopt positivism and eschew any act of vendetta pursuit if he must succeed as the governor. The undoing of Sanwo-Olu will be for him to attempt unnecessarily going after his immediate predecessor or opposition interests, rather than concentrating on his programs to better the living conditions of Lagosians. That's in The Punch. NYC to include date of birth on certificates. You also find that story in the Punch newspaper. NYC to include date of birth on certificates. The National Youth Service Corps says it has decided that on certificates to be issued going forward will include named dates of birth of core members on the certificates as a measure to guard against age falsification. The NYC said this decision was informed by the West African Examination Certificate and the Schemes Exemption Certificate, which includes the dates of birth of the holders. The NYC Director General, Brigadier Shaibu Ibrahim, said this in Abuja at the 2019 Batch B pre-mobilization workshop, noting that the scheme observed that some tertiary institutions were guilty of presenting overage graduates for mobilization. So we're now putting age to help in falsification of age, according to NYC. And that's it. We're wrapping up there on the newspaper review. When we'll come back, the news update.
Every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
This is Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
Hello and good morning. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Annie Abdul Salam. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has narrated his experience while on board an Ethiopian airline flight and nearly crashed at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. The airplane, Boeing 777-300, narrowly avoided an accident while trying to land with nearly 400 passengers on board. Speaking with newsmen on his experience, Obasanjo said he remained calm and read papers while the scary situation occurred, adding that he left everything to God. Obasanjo was returning from a stakeholders dialogue on continental trade and implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, which ended on Tuesday in Addis Ababa. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has urged Nigerians not to give in to pessimism and despair as the nation battles all sorts of ills, which he says threaten national peace and unity. President Jonathan said the celebration of democracy should be a mark of commitment to the virtues of liberty, justice, and the people's freedom to daily engage government and how best to achieve the national goals. He noted that the country may not have realized the promises of democracy and all that are possible in the new dispensation, but it remains an incubator for great ideas, visions, development, and hope. The former president said as a nation, it is imperative for Nigerians to continue to strive for improvements in the electoral process, adding that there is need to deepen the gains so far attained by advancing the frontiers of credible electoral processes, fidelity to the rule of law, and adherence to constitutionalism. The people of Iba community in Emoha local government area of River State will now have peace without fear of killing, beheading, and kidnapping that have sacked several inhabitants. This is because the leadership of the two warring cult groups have come together to sign a peace accord before the commander of the military personnel deployed to Iba and some stakeholders from the community. Our correspondent gathered that the two cult groups have also agreed to move together around the community on Sunday in company of security operatives as a sign of peace and unity in Iba. Leaders of the two cult groups urged anyone who may be aggrieved to sheath their sword and embrace peace, just as they called inhabitants who had fled the community to return to be part of the peace. And on the foreign scene, 7 South Korean tourists have died and at least 19 more missing after a boat capsized on the Danube River in Hungary's capital, Budapest. 30 tourists and 3 tour guides, as well as 2 Hungarian crew members, were on the boat when it was hit by another vessel while moored. 7 people have been rescued and a massive search operation is continuing on the river swollen by heavy rainfall. The rain had led to strong currents on the Danube, a popular draw for tourists. And that wraps the news update here on Today 95.1 FM. Thank you for listening. So have a good morning.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Talk radio.
I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Every day on Today 95.1 FM, there's always an opportunity to comment and air your views on our various programs. It's not just about us, it's about you, your opinion, and your voice.
President, don't you think that it's time to step down, sir?
Be part of the story, the gist, reactions, intrigues, and the news.
President Neil Patrick Harris has called for greater regulation.
Give us a feedback or join the conversation on Twitter at TodayFM951. Our Facebook address is Today95.1 FM, or join us on the number 0701 933 9962. That's our WhatsApp application. Be informed, be educated, and have fun. We are Today 95.1 FM, voice of the people.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
6 minutes after 9, you're listening to Today 95.1 FM. So welcome and thank you for joining us. Right now we're about to talk about money and how you can possibly start to make more money of it, especially online. And I have a guest in the studio with me. He'll be talking to us about the Financial Empowerment Seminar holding in Port Harcourt, and that is the E-Trading and Investment Summit. This is a seminar whereby money-making opportunities will be revealed. Patrice Okebo.
Hi, good morning, everybody out there, and good morning to
Good morning.
you.
He's my financial market analyst, an e-trader, investor, trader, and trainer. He's a member of the Chartered Market Technician Association. He holds a level 5 diploma from the London School of Trading, UK. Thank you so much for joining us, Patrice.
Thank you once again. Thanks for having me.
All right, so before we go any further, please tell us about E-Trading and Investment Summit, where it is happening.
Okay, thanks. The E-Trading and Investment Summit is a financial empowerment program where we try to expose potential income opportunities available online to people who have been looking for ways to create alternative ways of income. Now, you and I will agree that every financial income, everything's going online now. Businesses are going online. Everybody's making money online. All the rich men in the world are doing online businesses. Jeff Bezos, who's the richest man in the world, is owner of Amazon, which is e-business. So everything's potentially going online. If you're planning to create alternative ways of income, if you're not thinking online, I'm telling you, you are not doing the right thing. So at the E-Trading and Investment Summit, we try to tell you that, listen, you've been spending money burning your data on your phone, trying to do Instagram, upload pictures, everything. You say there's no work, but I don't know if you can do a math to calculate how much you spent on phone or your data. So we're trying to tell you that, listen, at E-Trading and Investment Summit, how you can potentially turn those data you're burning into money-making venture for you, especially in the financial market. So the E-Trading Investment Summit is a free financial summit. It's going to be the largest gathering of everybody who wants to know about financial market and how they can, possibly trade and become successful in it. So the event is free and it's taking place here in Port Harcourt. We had this event some couple of months ago, and ever since then in Port Harcourt, we received 1,000 calls calling us to come back. I want to learn it now. So we are here right back. Now, this event is organized by FXTM. FXTM is a financial brokerage firm. Now, you're dealing directly now with a financial brokerage firm. So we are coming here to impart knowledge on what this financial market is all about. How can the financial market enable you to generate income, especially in the financial market? How can this income can enable you grow achieve financial freedom? Right. So, like I said, the seminar is free and it's taking place starting tomorrow, 31st of May. At ICT, River State ICT Center, which is at By Expressway, opposite Pleasure Park. The seminar is free. And also, we have another version of it on Saturday, which is the 1st of June, the same venue, River State ICT Center. It's totally free for anyone who has done the assessment that said, okay, let me use this internet and wasting to turn it to money. I need to develop another source of income for myself. This summit is just for you.
All right, good. So, tell us who can trade in that summit. You said anybody at all.
Yeah, anybody.
As long as you say you want extra source of income.
Definitely.
It's not as if you must have some sort of knowledge of Forex or have gone to some level of schooling first.
No. What requires first of all have the zeal to make money.
Okay.
So you don't need to be a PhD holder before you can trade in finance. We're calling up people who wants to understand how this money is being made. How people are making money from all the kind of business. How can I participate? I've been wasting money on my data. How can I turn it to money venture? So it's for everyone, as long as you're more than 18 years, above 18 years.
Right.
So that's just the criteria, regardless of who you are.
So it doesn't require too much knowledge.
It doesn't require too much knowledge. People say you don't need to be a PhD holder. Listen, Annie, a couple of months ago in Port Harcourt here, I had a photographer attended my summit, and he never knew how to power a computer. He came to me and said, Petrus, listen, I love this thing, but I don't know how to power a computer. I said, that's not a problem. I'm going to teach you all these things, teach you how the platform works, teach you the right knowledge, information you need. I'm not going to make promises of wealth. No, I'm going to tell you, step by step, and every approach and strategy, you're going to achieve it. So I'm talking to this guy called me now, was like, hey, Petrus, I like what I'm doing now. It has helped me, I'm still helping my family, things like that. So regardless of what you do, just all you need to do, that you have the zeal. And this summit is for everybody, like I said. Now, even if you are working, it gives you an opportunity as a worker to create alternative source of income or passive income for yourself, knowing that your 9-to-5 jobs cannot only sustain you, considering the economy we are in. So if you're working now and you know that your expense is always more than your income, and you've been planning a way, the cheapest way to start something that can create a passive income for you. I'm not trying to resign you from your job, but I'm trying to add something that can, give us an additional source of income for you. This summit is for you. Then if you're out there, you're a graduate who has been looking for a job, you can, looking for a job is quite expensive. You can actually start from somewhere, get yourself, package yourself, get the money for yourself, then still start looking for a job. Now, e-trading is for you. Then if you're an entrepreneur who have been looking for opportunity to do business diversification, you've been doing the kind of business, I want to try online business, this summit is for you. You can sit down on that, inside your office where you're doing that normal business, try online, use your phone that you use to bond that data every day, use it to place trade and learn how to do this and be successful. So it's a total package for everybody. So anybody can come attend the summit.
And
it's
right,
a free
and you
event.
said it's free. Anybody can come, and you're going to have them on 2 days. You're having on Friday and Saturday.
On Friday.
Is it any different? What's happening on
No,
Saturday?
it's still the same thing. Only I wanted to manage the crowd. The last time we had this event, like over 600 people came, and it was we were well overwhelmed. Yeah. So what we're trying to do now is to ensure we have it 2 days so that people can actually book the day they want, so that they can reserve their spot, their seats will be kept, so that when they come, it's easier for them to walk into the class. And when you're talking about financial matters, we don't need people to stand. We need people to sit down and get everything we're giving to them.
So let's get another part of this. What's risky about this?
Honestly, when you're trading financial matters, it's risky. Because what times it's all about you predict some knowledge, some things might go in direction, but when it doesn't, you lose your money. So, but what we're trying to tell you is that there are risks involved, but we're going to teach you
risk management,
and how to. First of all, you have to identify this risk. Then how to manage it to your own advantage. What they call risk to reward approach. So that's what we're going to teach you that day. So on Friday and Saturday is going to be explosive. Now a lot of things are going to be going on Friday, Saturday. So to register is a free thing to do. Now all you need to do to register is pick up a date you want. Is it tomorrow, Friday, which is the 31st of May, or on Saturday, 1st of June, 2019? Choose a date you think that's most convenient for you. Take your phone now, and if you want to attend Friday, send the letter PH1 to this number I'm going to give to you now, 080-955-32211. I repeat. Now, if you want to attend the Friday edition, type the letter PH1 and send us an SMS. Please don't call. So type PH1 and send us an SMS to 080-955-32211. Now, because you're working and you feel that you'll be chanced on Saturday, which is the 1st of June, that's next tomorrow, then pick up your phone also and send PH2 to the same number, 080-955-32211. Now, we're going to do this. We're not just going to be imparting knowledge on Saturday. We're also going to enable you, help you financially. Now, we're saying that the first 50 people that are going to register and also attend the event. Now, it's not about registering. You must also 50 people I'm going to see at the hall on Friday, coming to Friday, Saturday. You're not just coming to get the lectures. You're also going to get empowered financially. I'm going to give you a free training voucher, $10 voucher. So all you need to do now,
Pick up your phone. Be among the first people to send SMS and be among the first people to be at the hall on Friday or Saturday. So pick up your phone now for Friday. Decide your spot on Friday by sending the letter PH